on server 1. So let's perform the first question. So this is your first question. The first question is it give you the IP net mask and the host name. You have to set up it, and this is the gateway and this is the DNS, right? And just make sure in exam you are not going to get, yeah, you are going to get the same thing, that's 00255 network mask, right? So let's configure it. So this is the host name you are going to set up it. I'm going to log in it. So what I told you to use a big screen, because when you have a big screen you can move your, like this one, you can move your, you can put it here. I can put it here and I can open the exam question here, and this is my screen, so you can see it. It's everything is showing on one screen. So that's why I'm asking you, never give exam, online exam on your desktop, on your, sorry, laptop. So let's sudo it, because you are going to perform all the tasks with root user in exam. So let's set up the host name. So hostname command is hostname hyphen set name. I think it's name. Hostname or name? I think name. Yeah, the command is host. You can use the tab here, right? But here you cannot use it. You have to type it. Tab is not going to work it, so you have to type it manually. Set hostname, and then you can provide the hostname. So this is your hostname, right? After run this command, you have to run this command bash. So you can see my hostname is changed. It was test VM, now it says hostname. You can confirm with hostname, right? Reboot it, it's the permanent hostname right now. So let's configure the IP. How you can configure the IP, I can show you. I'm just going to screen my up. Okay. So the command is nmcli. You can use a tab. If you don't know after command, you can see it says modify. You have to remember it, right? Modify. Then you have to provide your Ethernet name, right? From Ethernet name you can find it from here, like IP. Here you can see it says ETH0, this one, right? In exam it is ENS something, or it says ETH0. I run both command, but it is not working. Let me show you, give me a minute. So what is the command? Command is nmcli connection modify, and then you have to give the IP. Okay, you have to give this is a subnet mask 24, and then you have to give a type IPv. Yeah, 1 second, yeah, I did a mistake. So your command is IPv4 dot, yeah, you have to provide your this name, your Ethernet card name. So after that you have to provide nms4 dot, tab is working now. Yeah, tab is working now. After this one you have to provide your, this is your where is your IP? 1 second. Yeah, this is, oh shit, I don't know why it's not working, so let me copy it again. Yeah, yeah. So you have subnet mask, you have to define it as a 24. It's subnet mask is the same in the exam, so don't worry about it. So this is your gateway, and then you have to type IPv4. If you don't know, you can just tab it, it shows you have all the options. So next one is DNS. I'm going to use DNS 888, and yeah, and then IPv4 method. Method is your manual, and then connection, auto connection. You can say yes. If I press enter it, my connection will be disconnect after I up it, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this and go to my here. Where is my server? This is my server one. I'm going to do it because if I assign the IP, my connection will be disconnected. So that's why I've come to server name here. Yeah, you can see host name is this. Because my session is open, that's why it shows the old name. So I just have to run the bash command again, and then it shows you everything. So you can see this is the whole command which it shows you. So after that I have to enter it. When I'm going to enter it, there is no error. So after that you have to give a command nmcli connection up, and this is my Ethernet. If I do IP is configured, if I do my IP this one, so you can see it's my IP is configured here, whatever the IP asked in the exams, right? So what's the problem I face in exam when I'm okay with that. When you do modify tab, you can see your Ethernet name. If you don't see your Ethernet, you can type this command and you can find it from here. But in exam they provided a ETH0 ETH0 yeah ETH01. I entered it, but I don't know why it was not working. This command, when I entered it, right now it's working, but in exam it was not working. I don't remember what I did it. I just did this one and I do a tab and it shows me everything. And I think I remember, if I remember correctly, there is a file name. Yeah, I use file name and then I do yeah, I got it. What I did, I use a file name. Then after use of in exam, after use a file name, I have to mention the Ethernet name. So what I've done, I have followed this full path, right? I type this full path here, and then I'm sorry. So you can see this command is working, but in exam it is not going to work. So what have to you have to do, type this one up, and then you have to do a tab, and then you have to, I think, use a file name, and then you have to do a tab, and then you have to use, you don't need to use a loop one, so you have to go, you are going to use this path, right? Make sure you know how you can see it's no error, everything is fine. So but just make sure this is the way how you can complete your question one. So that's the question one is completed. So this is your second question where you configure the yum on node 1 or server 1. Node 1. So I log into node 1 and we are going to configure this one. Before we are going to configure it, if you go to your Red Hat server, I think yum dot, you have to remember all these directories, otherwise it's hard for you. So you can see that there is a Red Hat repo, which I'm not going to use it because we need our local repo, and I configure it. I'm going to disable it. So this is the command to disable the Red Hat repo. I'm going to disable it, ls. I'm going to remove this one, and now you are seeing sorry. So what you have to do, you have to type it here, yum dot yum repo. Oh sorry, yum my repo or yum repo, whatever you want. Make sure it has a dot repo file, right? So what I'm not going to type it each line, so you have to just memorize it. Yeah, you have to memorize it. So I'm just going to paste it. So this is the syntax, you have to follow it. You have to memorize each line. So you have to, in exam you have to type it manually. So you guys are thinking the URL they give you in the exam is look like this one. So I'm using my LDAP server, which I configure as a repo server also. So I'm not going to show you how you can configure your repo server. You can Google it or you can find it from somewhere. Let me show you. You can come up here and you can search here how to setup Red Hat 9 repo server. Right, there are so many videos, you can just follow any video and you can configure it. It's easy for you. If you have any difficulty, you can just let me know. So I've base means you have to give a name. You can give your name, but I give a base name because this is a base URL. You can see this one is the base URL, so that's why I give it as a base name. And then you base, it's you have syntax, you have to define it here, and then you have to give a base OS name, then URL, enable, and JPG check is disabled. And this one is the second link AppStream one, and you have to give a name, base URL, and then everything is here. So make sure it's in line. Sometimes you have difficulty with, if you have no space here, you can check it. And then you have to save the file, and then you can run rum yapo list. That is okay. You can try it. Yum install httpd. Oh, it's not working. Yeah, okay, it's a DNS issue. Give me a second. In exam you are not going to face any issue because they have their configured DNS. You are not going to face this issue. Alright, so 103.192.168.100.03. You can see it now. It is working now. It took some time, but yeah, you can see that it's prompt, so my repo is working now. So this is your question number 2. Make sure you have remember all the syntax in each line. Okay, so the third question is, it's about SE Linux in your RHCSA exam, Red Hat System Administration Certified exam. SE Linux is enabled and you are not allowed to disable it, right? So the third question is about Apache server HTTPS. He says it's running on port 82. So yeah, so sorry, I want to just tell you one more thing. In my previous question, the HTTPS, when you configure it, you are not going to able to run this command. The command is HTTP because the HTTP server is already installed. So what you can do, you can maybe type this one. Yeah, you can type this one to make sure your HTTP server is working now. The command is yum install vsftpd. Okay, the third question I'm talking about, it's about the SE Linux and Apache configuration, right? So if you want to prepare for your question, you have to install the Apache server, right? So you have to install it. After you install it, on server 1, right? I can tell you how you can check it. Sorry. So you go here, you open your Firefox, and okay, once you install your HTTPD server, so you have to run this command. I'm just prepare your lab. You don't need to run in exam yum install HTTP. It's already configured. So from here you have to start HTTPD. Like so, one it started. So what you can see it here, you can see this one. Oh wow, why it's not working? 1 second. So once HTTP is installed, you have to start the service to prepare your lab, right? So let's see. I'm sorry about the video. So once you install the HTTP, you have to start it to set up your lab, right? systemctl status HTTPD. Okay, it's dead. So you have to start it. Once you start it, you have to go to your server. In exam there is a link. When you click on it, it will open the HTTPS. I repeat, in exam they provide you the link. You click it and it open the link and you can see it, right? So install the HTTP. So okay, once it's installed, you go to your server one and then type this IP. It will open, you can see it's Apache is here. You can type the local IP, you can type the server 1 IP or node 1 IP. You can see it's here, right? In exam they are running HTTP. Actually the HTTPS is running on port 80. So in exam the HTTPS they configure it for port 82. You can see in your questions it says port 82, right? So the HTTP is running on port 82. So what we are going to do, we are going to configure it for port 82. I don't remember. Yeah, this is a file. You have to open it and then search for port and press next. Yeah, go back. Sorry, not port. Search for listen and enter. You can see it here, it's running on port 82. I'm going to change it to port 82. Yeah, so now what we do, we are going to restart it. When I'm going to restart it, it gives you the error because it's running on port 82 and you need to configure it with HTTP. You need to configure it for SE Linux and then it will going to show you the page. So you can see it's not, Apache is not able to start it, so you get this environment in your exam. So if you go back here and you can just come up here and refresh it, you can see it's not working here, right? We are on server 1 node 1 and it's refresh, it's not working. So you have to configure it for SE Linux and then it will going to start it. So how you can do it? It's very easy question, it's not difficult question, right? So I'm just going to put all the command here. So you just have to remember it and practice it again and again. So this is the first command. Firewall cmd permanent add HTTP. You enter it, and what it is saying. Okay. When you do a copy paste, it's not like it. So you have to do this one. Interesting. So you have to type it manually. You copy paste is not working. So firewall cmd, you can use a tab, it automatically complete it, right? So you can type it there, service httpd, enter. It's all, I already run it, so that's why it's saying already there. So yeah, so you have to come up. The second command is you have to add the port here, which port you are going to use it. You have to define port 82 and make sure you tell that it's a TCP port, and then you have to run the command firewall cmd hyphen reload. And if you want to check it, you can check it by cmd list all. So you can see your HTTP is configured here, right? In firewall is configured here. So and next command is you have to see SE Linux settings. So how you can do it, SC manage port -L and then pipe sign grab and HTTP. So you can, with the help of this command, you know which kind of SE Linux permission you needed. So you need this permission, so you don't need to remember it, so you can copy it from here. And the last command you have to type it, SE manage port -A -P TCP TH, and then this thing on which port you have to run it, on port 82. So you can see it's run, no error. If you run this command again, you can see that it's port 82 is here, right? So what you have to do, you have to try to restart the Apache again. Restart httpd, and you will see it's there. It will show you no error. It's starting. It took some time because it's a SE Linux setting we set up it for. That's why it's taking some time. Maybe it took like 5 or 10 seconds. Let's see. Okay, you can see the command is run. If you see the status of this command, you can run this command. Ah, you can see HTTP is running on it. So the last and the most important command is you have to run this command. Enable it. It will help you when you restart the server. It will shows you the HTTP is automatically running, because when you done all the questions, you have to restart your server, both server, node 1 and node 2, because it's a requirement from all it's a requirement for the exam, because they will reboot your both server and see if it's come up. And again, if the server is not come online again, you will get a 0 marks, right? So just make sure this one is done. I will let you know when you are going to restart your server. So this is the question number 3. You can see it's done. Okay, so the fourth question is about you have to create the users. So in this question he says that create the following user group and group membership, right? Group membership, you have to create a user for admin user, and then you need to create a account, Harry account, and it's a secondary, it's not a primary group, it's a secondary group, right? And Natasha as a member of the admin user group, and Sarah, he does not have a member of admin user group, and she does not have a permission to log in, and who is not a member of sysadmin group. Okay, yeah, so this is wrong. Then it must be like this one. She is not a member of this group. Okay, and Natasha and Sarah should have the password of Natasha, Sarah, all of them password is this one, right? I will guide you how you can set up a password. So let's start the question. So this is your, how can I set up it? Okay, let's do this way. You have to perform all the question on node 1, server 1, right? So what is the first requirement of this question? The first requirement is create a group, right? So you have to create a group with group add and admin user. So this is the group, right? So second part is you have to add a user add Harry. You have to add a user Harry. So this is the command you use to add a Harry, and the secondary group is admin user, right? So this is the command you type it, right? And this is the same command for Natasha, right? And for Sarah, Sarah is not a member of any group, and she does not have a permission to log in into the shell, right? So you have to type this as bin, yeah, has been with no login, and Sarah. Oh, it's ready. Warning, the missing non-active shell. Hmm. 1 second. So user add Sarah hyphen has been with no login. Yep. So this is the command for Sarah. So Sarah not allowed to log in with S login, so you have to enter it, right? So just make sure there is no error on it. So now they are going to ask you to change the password from this one. So what I'm doing in the exam, I'm just copy this password, and for password for Harry, I paste it here, and for the second attempt I'm type it manually, right? So you have to do the same thing. Don't copy paste every time, because sometimes it's a space or something this one. So let's repeat me for Natasha. I have shift insert it, paste, and second time I'm going to type it Settered, right? So it's been password is okay, and you have to do the same thing for Sarah. Okay, so this is your fourth question is completed. Okay, so this is the question number 5, and it is requesting you to configure the cron job for user Natasha. There are two ways how you can configure it. One is you can configure with root user, and second is you can configure with Natasha user. So I prefer to configure with root user. So which command you are going to use it? So you are going to use this command, cron job edit user Natasha, and then you have paste this in cron tab, save it, and restart it. So let's do it. This is your desktop. So here you type it cron tab minus edit hyphen u, what is the username is Natasha, and you can see you can I already configured it here. So I configure static because I just want to show you that how the messages look like. So if you go here log cron, you can see that messages look like this one. Now you don't need to check in the exam, so you have to just configure it. Okay, so I'm going back and I'm going to change these two, 23 and 14. That's it. This is your question number 5. Yeah, so just save it and make sure you restart it. Right after restart, you make sure you have enabled it. It's already installed. If it's not installed, then you can, I think you can install it with yum install. You can run this command before you start the question. Yum install cron tab. Oh, I just pressed the tab, so it's sleeping now. 1 second. Yeah, once you enable it, once you make sure you enable it. Once you enable it, yeah, I think the cron package is already installed, but you can make sure it's already there, so you can run this command. I think I didn't run this command in the exam, so you don't need to run it. You just configure. It's already installed. You can see it. So this is your question number 5. Okay, so 1 second, let me clear the thing. Okay, so this is your question number 5, and in exam they give you this question, or they give you an other question which is from after every 2 minutes, right? So how the question is look like, I am going to share with you how you can see it. 1 second. Yeah, so I'm just pasting, so you can see it. This is your question number 5 part 2. So in this question they said configure the cron for Natasha, which is run every after 1 minute. So how you configure it every after 1 minute? You have to just, in the cron tab, you have to just go static/1 and static. So this is the way how you can run any cron job on every 1 minute. So this is your question number 5. So it's about your question number 6. The question number 6 is about you have to create a directory, home admin, and then you can give a permission to this group admin user. We created this group in the previous question, and then you can give a admin user permission to this directory, and the group of these users are able to read and write file in this directory. So the permission, the way you set up it like this one. Like if some user created a file in this directory, the other user is not able to delete it. So we are going to set up those permissions and the sticky bit on it, because sticky bit is used to restrict all the user. So the who create the file, he is only able to delete the file, right? So this is the way how you can do it. Create a directory and then change the group permissions and then set up a permission on it. So let's do it. Yeah, here this is my desktop machine. Let's do it. And first you have to create a directory, mkdir home admin. It's I already created it. So once you are, let me remove it. Yeah, so in exam you have to just create this directory, and then you have to give a permissions to this user. Yeah, ch group is change the group permission on it, so we're going to define admin user on this directory, and after that you have to change the file permission. So this is chmod is command to change the permission on the group directory or the file, and 2 is the uid, so it means it's for the directory, so that's why we are going to use 2, and 770 is the permission for all the users. Before I'm going to run it, I'm going to show you home admin, this one. You can see the permission this time, and when we run this command, after this you can see the s is showing up here, which is sticky bit on this one, right? So this is the command how you can do it. So yeah, I think you need to run R on it. Yeah, I think you have to run it. No, S is fine, without R is fine, you can run it. It's the same permission, so nothing happened. So this is your question number 6. Okay, so this is question number 7, and it's really easy. You have to just create a user Alex and set the UID for this user and set the permission or set the password for this user, right? So how you can do it, you can just create a, let me increase the text of the file, 18, 1 second, I think, yeah, 18 is fine. Yeah, so this one is how you can do it. You can just create a user add, username is user add -u user, set this is a UID, and then Alex, that's it, and then you have to set up a password. It's very easy, it's not difficult so much. So we are going to our desktop machine, and user add -u, and then UID is 3456 for Alex. You have to define the user at the last after the UID, right? That's it. And you have to set up the password for password. And so what I did in the exam, I had just copy the password from the questions, and like if I'm giving the password to this user is Alex. So what I'm doing, I just copy it one time, and second time I type it manually, so the password is matched. Maybe when you're copying it from the question there is a space or somewhere, so I suggest you for the second time you have to type it manually, so you can see it's password is right. Okay, this is your question number 7. Hey, now you have a question number, I think 8. Let's see. Yeah, question number 8. So the question number is 8 is about you have to find the file with user era. So you have to find all the related file which is belong to era. So the command will be, you have to use this command, find / means in all root directory all over the your server, and -user which user you want to, and this is a switch, you have to define it because it's going to parse the all the file to the copy command, and then copy rf -rf it will use to, these are the switches you have to use it because it's going to transfer all the finding file to the directory, this directory, and you have to use these one. If it's not working, maybe you have to give some space in it and then you can try it, or you can provide a space here and then you can try it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's not work, but it always give me the hard time. So make sure if you are SSH to your server 1, if it's not working, then you have to go to your node 1 and access the console and then run the command. So right now I'm into server 1, you can see it, I'm on server 1, and I write it on this command and enter it, and you see everything is here. Then I have to log in into this one, ls-la, you can see the files are not here, so this is the problem why it's not there. Hey, sorry about the problem. So when you enter this command, it will give you the everything, the file it's find and it's locate into this directory. You can see I'm in this directory, and you can do if ls-ls, you can see all the everything is here. So if you face any issue with this command, just let me know. Okay, so this is question number 9. In this question number 9, he asked you have to find some string, this string from this directory. It's very easy question. So it always comes in exam. So what you have to do, you have to just type. I will show you how you can do this question. One second. Where is server one? Yes, this is your server one. Yeah. So you have to find all the strings and everything from the file. So we are not going to use it here fine, because you have to read all the content and then you can filter the word which they ask in the question. So in so this is the directory you want to ask you. So you will use so you will use grub command. One second, let me clean it. Yeah, pipe sign. Where is pipe sign? Yeah, grab. And what is the string you want to state? All right. Right. Once again, stratu. Right. You can see this is the string which is find you from the file. So type it, and then you have to redirect to everything in this location. Root lines. If you are not going to create this file lines, it will automatically create it, right? When you find something from the directory, when you find something in the server and you have to put into some directory, you have to create a directory first. But in file, you don't need to create a file, it automatically created. So enter, and if you do ls, you can see I'm in a different directory. So ls, if you do, you can see the line file is here. If you cat it, you can see everything is here. So this is very really easy question, and question number 9. Hey, this is question number 10, which is really important as a exam point of view, because it has big marks in the exam, right? So the question is about the AutoFS, and you have to configure the AutoFS. This is the home directory, you have to mount it, and this is the user, you have to try it. The user is remote user 21, but I have a LDAP user 1, and I will show you how you can log in this user and make sure it is working right. So you have to mount it. AutoFS means when the user is trying to log in, it automatically log in, and user is able to log in into his home directory and without any error, right? And in exam they also provide you the NFS server. This is the NFS server. They also provide you the location. You have to mount it in your AutoFS configuration. And yeah, let's start the question. So I can show you. You can see LDAP. If I try to log in it LDAP user 1, you can see it's give me the error and he's not able to log in it, right? First of all, you have to check the package is installed or not. It's up to you if you want to check it. Otherwise, just go and install it. So I just run this command. It will show you the package installed. It's already installed, but in exam I prefer you to just install it again. So this is the command, you have to run it. Yum install AutoFS, NFS, and these utils, right? -y means run, install it without any prompt. So let's see how long it will take. You can see it's installing now, and then you can see it says I run this command and it install everything, right? So next you have to find, yeah, this is installed, and you have to check the NFS server is working or not. So you have to run this command. You can see it shows me that this is the export version and this is the home directory. You can run this command in your exam and you will see. And next thing, you have to open this file. Where it is, vi auto.master. You have to open this file, come at the end of the file with shift G, and then you have to write it down. This, it's already provided you in the exam, so you can just copy paste it here. So they provide you this in the exam, and you have to write it down, this one, and then you have to log out. I mean to say, just save the file. and then you have to open. Let me show you one more thing. If you scroll, you type it here, auto.msi, right? So now then you have to open the file auto.fsmi and come to the end of this one. When you end it, make sure there is no number sign over there, and you have to, I'm not going to write it to waste the time, so I'm just copy paste it right now. So you have to remember all these lines. This is your NFS server, and this is how it's look like. Once it's done, you have to done this one, system restart NFS logic. One second, why it's not working? Yeah, so the command is systemctl restart autofs, right? Not NFS. Run this and make sure you enable it in the exam, otherwise it will not start it when you are in the exam. So make sure it started and you enable it. Once it's done, enable, restart, everything is look fine, then you can log into the server ss-ldap user1. Okay, so still I'm getting error. Let me check it. Okay, the problem is my connectivity with LDAP server is broken. So what I have done, let me show you. I have reconfigured it. First I have installed the IPS server, the connectivity with the IPS server. It reboot the server, and then I again run the command IPA client install, right? So you can see it's discover everything. Yep, this is, yeah. So this is you can see this is my LDAP server. Everything is configured and it's able to connect with the server. You can see it now. If I run this command, you can see I am able to log in with the LDAP user1 without any error. You can see there is no error like bash, bin bash is not found, everything is not found. So I just want to show you, make sure when you are in exam, when you type it, this one, so make sure you type at the end. You can see there is a and sign. You have make sure you have to write it down, because it will give you a proper environment, right? So let's talk about the LDAP, because if you don't configure the LDAP, you cannot complete your lab, right? So let me show you my LDAP server with you, and I will guide you how you can install it from, right? So you can see it's my LDAP server. This is my LDAP server. You can see it's look like this one. So now you have thinking how you can install the LDAP server. So I suggest you open the Chrome and Google it how to install the lab IPS server. So look at this URL, remember it or you type it, and you can look into this one. You have to go through it all the steps and then you can do it. So it's a lab IPS server. If you type it, you can see there are so many things comes up, right? So I suggest you to search for lab IPA configure with sender, right? Or you type a YouTube. So this is the first link, you have to open it, right? And
hello, my name is Sander van Vught. In this video I will show,
you can see this is the sender. His course is really good, so I suggest you to go for watch this video and configure your LDAP server. If you face any difficulty, just let me know, I will guide you, right? So after install the LDAP server, you have to connect your Linux machine. If you open it, you can see how I can install it. Yeah, I run this command, it will install all the servers, because it's all the packages already installed. It will show you this one, and then you have to run the command. Where is the command? Yeah, you have to run it, and it will ask you some questions. You can just yes no, or you can provide. If it discover it, you will able to configure your LDAP, and you can easily complete this question. Make sure the key of this question is your DNS server must be as your LDAP server. If you have any question, you can ask me. I will guide you how you can configure it. So next question is question 11. Yeah, this is question 11. In this question, you have to just zip the file, zip the folder, and that's it. So in this question, he asks you to zip this folder user local into this name, and then you can first you have to tar it and then you can zip it, right? So I will show you which command I'm going to use. I'm going to use this command, and these are the switches for zip, create, verbose, and I think F4. So when you run it, you can ls, you can see it's there. This is the file, you created it, and then you have to run this command to zip it where it is. Yeah, then you have to zip it first, star and then zip. It's already there, so that's why it's saying it there. So you can see it's, yeah, this is the zip file. So sorry, this is the zip file for you. So this is a simple question, you can easily do it. Okay, so these two questions are about the RHCSA exam, container pod. So one second, let me big screen. I'm going to upgrade it so you can easily view it, right? So let me share you the question. So the first question is, he's asking you have to create a container file from this URL, and then you have to create an image for from this file, right? So let's do it. I am on, you can see I'm on node 1. So how you can do it, you can do it from here. First I'm going to prepare your lab so you can easily perform the question, right? So what you have to do, you have to run this command, add user ETH. This is the same user you will see in the exam, right? So I'm adding it, and I'm going to set the password for this user. You don't need to do these steps in the exam. I'm just preparing your lab, right? So let me do it. Enter, enter, enter. That's it. And then you have to run this command. I will upload all these commands on the channel also. So let me do it. Right, and what is the user? Auth at localhost, right? Yes. Then password. Um, okay, that's it. I think so. Yeah, when you do this auth at localhost, it must be login without password. So you can see the user is login without the password, right? In exam you have this screen on your server node 1. So what you have to do in exam, they will provide you the URL. So what you need to do, first thing you have to log into this user, because we need to run an image from, we need to create a container with this user, right? So you have to do this one, and then you have to run this command like this one, wget. They will provide you the URL, so you have to run it, because I'm not running it because it is just a dummy URL, right? So you will get a file. So I don't have a file, so I'm going to create it. So you can create it by yourself, right? So this is yeah, I'm just doing it. You can see the file is here right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a image for this file. So you have to run this command, podman build -t monitoring. They have informed you that you have to create an image with this. Yeah, you can see that they have asking you to create an image with the, where is the file name monitoring, right? If I scroll, make it little bit, yeah, you can see the name monitor, right? So you have to give this name over there. You have to enter it. It will go and create your image, right? It's downloading it, and let's see how long it will go. Okay, so you can see that is there if you run the command podman images, I think. Yeah, yeah, sorry, not ps, podman images. You can see your images here, right? And this is your question number 12. So I am going to stop it, and we will go for next question number 13. So in question number 12, okay, so you have this file with wget. You have this file, and once done you have to run this command. It will create your image. You can see it's already done. I run it already. So you have to type it podman, I think, images. Yeah, you can see this is your file which we have to where is the monitor. Yeah, this one is your image with monitor, right? Don't go with this one because it's a file which we download from the server. So this is the monitor one is your image. You are going to use it in your next question and create a pod, and we will start from there. Thank you. Okay, let's start question number 13. I'm also going to upload this question on YouTube so everybody can see and get a benefit from this question. So let's do it on question number 13, which is about related to pod question, and which is seem to be very difficult, but if you follow all these steps, definitely you will pass the exam. And the weightage of this question is about 40, I think 40 marks in the exam. So make sure you have do the same step, otherwise you will lose your 50 marks, which is really bad. You will not able to pass the exam, right? So I'm going to increase the size of this question. In this question he is saying you have to create a pod with this name from the image you created in question number 12, right? And then you have to use the image. As I said, you have to use the image you have created in a previous question, and then you have to create a service with this name, container hyphen dot sip pdf, whatever it is. And then you have to configure this service, which is automatically started, and you don't need to run the command to run the pod, right? When the user is logged in, it automatically started because you are going to create a services, right? And the last part, he's saying that you have to mount few directory with the pod, opt file attached with the container directory, opt incoming, and then you have to do opt proceed directory from into the container opt outgoing directory, right? So let's start it. I'm not going to repeat all these steps because it's we already done it. We have start from yum install configuration, right? So let's do it. Let me clean this one, install it, and pod yum. Yes, I have to. Why it is yum? Yep, you have to log in to with root user because you have to run it from the root user. You don't need to run on the normal user auth. So run it, and let's see if it's able to install it. Yeah, you can see it's installing few packages in the when I run these command in the exam, it's also install few new package, which is really helpful. So you make sure you are running this one, right? So this is done. So next command you are going to run it. I'm clear the screen so you can guys easily see it. So you have to run this command, and then you have to run the socket command. These are the just service you have to run it and start it. And then this one socket command, and make sure you enable it. These four command you have to run it. Pod socket, and then enable it. If you want to check the status, you can check it. I'm not going to check it. It's take time, but you don't need to check in the exam. If it's enabled, then it's sure it is running, so don't waste your time. Podman socket is done. So I'm running all these commands with root user. I will let you know when you are going to run with the command with normal. So this is the files, I think. Yeah, and then this directory, the second directory is this one, and now you're going to give a permission to the user, normal user, because this user need to directory to run the pod, right? Make sure you have follow all these steps. You have to remember it because you have to run those command exactly right now what I'm running it, right? So I don't know. 1 second. I don't know why, but let's do it. We have to create it. this directory. Oh, come on, not this one. I don't know, I created it out. Oh, this one is not out proceed. This one is this one. This is the correct file. You have to create it. I'm sorry. mkd, like this one, and then you have to run this command. Okay, this is done. Okay, now you have to log into with normal user because you are going to run the few command, right? And make sure you are on normal user because your image must be your image podman images, I think. Yeah, podman image. Your image must be under normal user, not on root user. Make sure, remember, in the exam you are on this ALTH user because you are going to get the same user in the exam. So this is your image, you created it. Now you with the using this image you are going to run the command pod, right? So this is your pod command, pod run, and dit is used for run the pod in the background. This is the name of the pod, and -v you are going to mount these directory to inside the pod. -z is for SE Linux. You have to, it's up to you, but I prefer to run it, right? Then you have to run it, and you can see it's run. Podman ps command will show you the pod is running, right? So, and next step is we are going to create a service. So now we are going to create a services because we need to run the pod, right? So you have to run this command, and then you have to run, I'm not typing it because it's time consuming, so I'm just copy paste it. I'm sorry. So you have to go log in into, you have to go to in this directory, and then you have to generate the file. Oh, come on, right? You can see the file is created as he said in the question, right? So this is done. We have to reload the configuration. So this is the reload your configuration, that's it. And then you have to start the service. Once it's started, make sure you enable it. If you don't enable it, you will get a 0 marks in the exam. So this is enabled. You can, if you have time, you can check the status, right? So this is running. So the last two command is this one. This is going to enable your services, so you make sure you run those command. And the last command is showing you the which service you enable with this user. So I'm running it, it shows you like you are, these are all configuration which we have done it, right? So this is done. These are the steps you make sure you remember, and you have to exercise it. I'm going to exit it. When I'm going to log in it, you can see the pod must be running. If it's not running, then you are failed. That's it. Oh, great, the pod is running, right? If you reboot the server, it will, you log in it and you can see it's still running. So this is your question. Make sure you remember all the steps. These are the simplest step. I'm just telling you guys. So if you want to all the questions which are from what it called, the RHCSA exam, I'm just creating all the video for all the questions, and I'm going to put on the Udemy. I will share the link with you, so you can, I'm sharing it so you can see it. Come on, where are you, man? Yeah, so let me show you. I'm just creating the video, so I think it's still in under progress. So you can see this is the course name, Red Hat exam, RHCSA exam 2024 April 6, right? So make sure you you are going to get this one, and it is under my name. Let me see if you can see my name. Yeah, this is my name. So you can just find on the Udemy and find this course. I'm also going to upload for more exam videos, but for just now this is the RHCSA exam, and sooner I will go, and when I give my exam RHCSE Red Hat Certified Engineer, I will also upload the videos, right? It is a bit expensive. I give a price for $100 because if you prepare these questions you will definitely pass the RHCSA exam. So thank you so much for watching the video. Bye. Okay, so this is question number 14. So I did not get, I did not get this question in the exam. So this is the question number 14, and it says you have to write a script. Again, I did not This question is not in my exam, so it's a simple question. It says you have to create a script and find all the files which is lower than 10 MB and put into the folder. So it's just a script. You have to just write, create my script. This is this, this is whenever you write a bash script, you have to define the environment. So this is one, it will create a directory, this one, and then you have to find all the file which is lower than 10 MB and then put it into the my folder, and then you have to give it to these permission to the users who can execute permission to this one. That's it. That's a simple script. You have to write it. I'm not going through this, write it down and show you, but you can do it with your practice. Okay, you can stop the video and write it by yourself. So this is question number 14, and it says you have to configure the user profile. When you log in, it will prompt this welcome advantage of whatever it is. So welcome to Advantage Pro. So you have to post a message, will be anything, so it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to show you how you can do it, right? There are two way. You have to do it with two way, because I don't know which one is fine. So let's do it for the first let me see the question again, 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. Configure it's up to you, it's up to the exam, sorry. Is it configured for, I think it's configured for user. Let's configure this thing for the user Ali. So I am logging with user Ali right now. You can see I switch to Ali user, right? You can see the message printing us. I'm guide you how you can do it. You have to go to bash underscore bash RC, I think so. I just put it there and I post this message here, export path and echo, that's it. I put it here, and then when I log in, it give me this prompt. So this is the one way, and the second way, I'm not sure which one is the best way. So this is the second way, where you can post it. You can open, let me see. I think the bash profile one is the best one, because other ones are for the, I think so this one is the best thing. Yeah. This one, or maybe, yeah, if it's if you go here and bash, 1 second, I'm not completely sure, let me see, bash underscore profile. Yeah, it's not there. Bash underscore, oh yeah, so this is a hidden file. You have to open it and you have to write it here, I think so. I don't know, it's, you have to put into bash RC or bash profile. I'm not completely sure about it. So you can put it here, this one. Let's see. Yeah. And let's remove it from the bash RC and see. I'll just remove it from here and see if it's working. 1 second. Let's see more. Yeah, it also gives you the same thing, but it gives you also error. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to remove this one. I just write it down, this one, Control C. Yeah, it still shows question 15. 1 second. Yeah, I don't need to write it down, sorry. Yes. Yeah, you can see, you can put into bash RC or you can put into vi bash underscore profile. So I suggest you put whatever they give you the banner, you have to just put into those two file, bash underscore profile and bash RC. So whatever the thing is, check, it will configure it there, so you will get a full marks. Okay, it's a simple question. Okay, so this is the question number 16. I'm not sure about the solution, but this is a solution which I received from someone. So in this question you have to configure the chrony, synchronize the time. So I'm not sure it's in the, we have to configure it, we need to install ntpd or what. You have to Google it and search it if you find something. I just follow these steps, and maybe my solution is wrong. I'm not sure about it. So you have to just Google it and see if you are able to find something. So the solution is you have to open this file, come up here, and you have to just whatever the link they provided you, you have to enter server dot and the link, save the file, exit, and then you have to restart the service, this one chrony.d, and then you have to make sure you enable it. And if you want to check the status, you can check the status. And the last command is you have to run this command. It will show you the server, but I don't know why it's not showing up here. So this is your 16 question number 16. Google it, you will find so many solutions over there, and then you can finalize which solution is good. You can go for the exam, but I just completely follow these steps in the exam. So this is your question number 17. In question number 17, he's saying you have to change the permissions of the Natasha, user Natasha. So what you need to change the permission so nobody can read it, write it, so only users can read the Natasha. If Natasha, I mean to say, if Natasha create any file, it automatically just user can read it, otherwise no permission for anyone else. So the directory is automatically, when you give the permission, it will automatically imply on the directory side. So the first command, you run this to natasha.bash rc, and then switch to Natasha UMAS. You can check the UMAS and then create a file and test it. It's as simple as it is. If you want to perform me, I can perform it for you. You can see I create a user Natasha here, and then I switch, then I run this command. It will change the permission of Natasha, and you can see this is the same requirement which they ask you in the question. Okay, so there are two. I'm showing you two more questions which you can face in the exam, but I did not receive any question in the exam. So let me show you a few more questions for it. It is a part of question number 17. So in this question, they will let me increase the size. Okay, 618 is good. Okay, so in this question, if they ask you to change the max pass day, I mean to say password maximum strength, so you can open this file and change this parameter, whatever they defined. I didn't get this question in the exam. So, and you know how to add a sudo permission for a normal user. If they ask you the user, you can put the username here, and you can see as it's already defined on the above one, so you can do it from there. If this is one is this question is about, you have to give a permission to the group. So this is the group name which we created in the above, and so any user of this one it will automatically has a sudo access. So these are the questions, so just practice it. Okay, so this is your question number 17. So in this question you have to log in on to the they will give you the guideline in the exam, so you have to log in on to the your node 2 means server 2. I have a server 2 here. So where is server 2? Yeah, this is my server 2. I don't know why it's not able to run it, so let me fix this one. Let's see if it's able to run it. So when you come to this question, which he says you need to reset the password of the server, so they already defined you this task must be done on server 2. I'm in node 2, so I'm just running it. I have some issue with node 2, so that's okay. It's up now. You can see server 2. So let me log in it. So you have to break the password for I will show you how you can break it. It's very easy. You have seen so many videos on the internet, but let me show you how you can do it. So you have this when you are logged into server, you have an activity tab. You have to click it here. So they don't provide you the rules node 2 password, server 2 password. So what you need to do, you have to go click here activity, and then on the console, on the node 2 console, you click on it, and you can see there is somewhere they have defined a control D and shift. You click on it, it will automatically restart your server, right? So listen with my above previous wordings with again. Click here, there is a console, click on node 2, and there is a somewhere button where you can send the signal control D to the node 2 server 2, which restart the server. Once it's restarted, you have to, one second, let me reboot this server. Power reset. When the server is rebooting it, you have to come up to the rescue, and then you have to press E, and then you have to come to your Linux and then press end. You come up here, and then you have to, I think, remove this one. You remove this one, and then remove this one, and then write rd.break. There are so many methods on the internet, but this one is the best one. After this, you have to type, I think, control X. Yeah, it's very easy, but you need to do a practice. It's really easy question, you can easily do it. So when you come up here, you need to type mount -o remount comma read write system root, enter, and then chroot system root, enter, and then you have to change the password. If you don't like it, you have to just type it again, password root. Mostly I have a password Ali, so now I'm changing it to Ali@123. You can see token is updated. So the last command is you have to update the SC Linux permission. So how you do it, you have to type it this auto relabel label, enter, auto relabel, right, exit, and then exit, it will reboot it. So we change the password to Ali@123. Let's see if I am able to log in. So this is the method. So you have to practice it again and again, and make sure you find a good video on the internet. Follow the video which they guided you about rd.break. So that's your question number, what is it, it's 18, right? So let's wait for it, and once it's start up, I will log in and show you. Okay, the server is up. Let me log in it. Let me write it, Ali@123, or you can see it is login. Yeah, you can see it is login now. So you have to find a good video on the internet, look into this, how you can break the password, and then you are able to break the password. Okay, see you in the next video. So this is your question number 18, I think. No, this is your question number 19, and in this question it's same as the question number 2. You have to just configure the yum repo for node 2 server 2. Why I'm saying node 2 server 2, because I have server 1 server 2. You can see it here. I have server 1 server 2, and in exam it's called node 1 and node 2. So in node 2 you have to log in it, and you have to do the same thing as you did in the question. So I prefer you to just copy paste from server 1 to server 2. Don't need to write everything, it just copy paste from over to there. If you don't want to copy paste, just you need to SSH it, then you can configure, and then you can do it. But you have to create a user Ali and then SSH it, because root is not allowed to SSH. You don't need to troubleshoot it why it's not allowed, but because they change everything. So what you need to do, you have to one second. Yeah, what I told you to create a user. Oh no, not here, not the yum here. No, yeah, I think I show you in the starting how you can create a user for server 1, and then you have to create the same thing for server 2, so you can SSH it. Okay, so this is same as the question number 2, nothing difference. So just make sure you remember it. So these questions, LVM questions, are really important. If you messed up with pod question and LVM question, it's very difficult to pass the exam. So make sure you complete your pod question and follow my all the steps which I guided you, and make sure you have do the practice for these LVM. I will guide you how you can do it. You can easily do it all the question in the exam. So in this question he's saying you have to like increase the space in the LVM. LV LV is a logical volume. Yeah, in the LV is logical volume. You have to extend the space in the logical volume, which is very easy. I'm going to guide you how you can do it. So in the question he says resize the logical volume LV. Name he provided you the name LV to 300 MB. Make sure the LV has the data. There is a data which is not must be, it must not be affected. Do not remove any in FS tab, right? So let me show you how you can do this one. So for the LVM one, I'm showing you how I can do it. I have just server 1, server 2, and you have the 2 server in the exam. But for LVM I have created a third server for myself. So if you go to the setting of this server, you can see this is only one hard drive. I'm going to add a new hard drive. Yeah, I need a new hard drive. Click here. This one is a recommended one. I think the first one is fine. Create a new hard drive. I don't need the 21 GB. I just need a 5 GB, which is fine. Click next, save, finish. Okay, and then you need to reboot the server so it can easily, yeah. Click OK. Don't cancel it. Let's wait for a few seconds. Hey, you can, sorry for I just paused the video because I'm adding this new drive. So you can see the new drive is added into the server 3. It's a server 3. You can see the name is localhost. You can ignore it. So let me change the name. Host name ctl set host name server 3.example.com bash. So it's changed. This is the host name. Okay, so I'm running fdisk -l. So you can see this is a new hard drive, right? So in the question what he's saying that you have to, yeah, you have to already increase the LV extend you 300 MB. So whatever they write it down, you can just write down the same amount. You don't need to change. Maybe you can type 310. In the exam they will tell you how much they will accept it. They will accept from 300 to 350, so which is fine. So this is the command you have to run it. But I don't have the complete environment. Like I don't have the LV with LV name. So make sure you need to do some practice and make sure how these things are working. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to increase the space with this command to the already configured LVM. So where is the server 3? Yes, okay. So server 3, it's, we can type the command. Give me a sec. Yeah. So here what I have to type it, you have to exit. You don't need to type this one. So here you can see you have to type it BLKIDS. BLK, yeah. What is the command? Yeah, BIKID. It will show you the complete picture what you need to do it right now. So these are my already created LVM. This is the only created LVM which I have it. You can understand it's a dev mapper. So this is LVM and this is also the LVM, right? So if I do fdf minus, oh sorry, df minus h clean df minus h, you can see my root is like this one, right? So I copy the command. So what I'm going to do, I don't have the name as they defined it, so I'm just going to add the 300 MB in it. So let me think it how I can do it. Hey, so what I have done, I have created the environment for the question, right? So I can show you what I'm running to this. I run this fdisk minus this command, so I can see this is the drive which I added in the VMware, right? And then what I've done, I have created a PV on it, and then after PV I have to PV stand for physical volume, and VG stand for VG stand for VG stand for a volume group. And what I've done, I just create a VJ with a VJ name, and then I create a LV with the, you can see LV name which they ask you. I run the command and it's working. So which command is working? Yeah, this one is working. I run this command and it created the VJ. So if when you run LVS, it shows you this is the VJ and this is the LVS. Yeah, 1 second. VJ LVS. Yeah, you can see when I run LVS, it shows me the LV, right? So the question they ask you, yeah, extend the 300 MB. So I'm going to run this command on my server 3. Yeah, 300 MB on it, automatically pop up. But if it's not pop up, then what you need to do, dev, I think mapper. Yeah, sometimes it's not comes up, so you have to make sure what you are doing. So it's, I think it's VJ then LV. No, it's not looked like that. Let me find the command for you, give me a sec. Okay, so what you need to do, you if it's not automatic completed, so you have to use dev mapper type VJ. It will give you the complete path, right? So let me run the command again. So I'm going to increase the 300. So it's dev. When you do the tab, it shows you as DA. So we don't need it. So you have to copy this one. And I'm hoping hopefully this will work. So run it. Yeah. So it shows you some wrong thing. So 1 second. Government has invalid character. Give me a sec. I'm sorry for this troubleshoot because I'm not using it so much. So the command you are going to run it will look like this one: lv extend hyphen capital L then 50 plus. You have to define plus. Actually, what I'm running 300, which is not valid. So you have to, like, if I run 300, it give you this error. So what the problem is, you have to type plus before it, right? So then it will hopefully run it. And I don't have enough space, so that's why it's not allowed me to run it. So I'm just 10 MB. I define it, it's automatically run it. So after that you have to resize it, and that's it. Resize command is 1 second. I'm sorry, it's a bit messy. So yeah, you have to run this command, size 2 fs, and then the partition thingy. Dev mapper VJ, that's it. So that's it. It automatically increase your space. You can see it's now not this one. You can do LVS. You can see it's increased to, yeah, LV, it is increased to 1.4 MB, 1.4 this one. So this is a simple question, but you need a practice and you understand how the LVMs work. There are so many videos on the internet, so you can just go through those videos so you can easily understand this one. And that's it. If you have any question, you can ask me. So the next question is question 21. So total question is 22. So in this question you are going to increase the space in the swap file, which is very easy. So you can see it, add a swap partition 715 MB into the mountain. So just remember one thing, in exam you will get one space where you perform all your LVM question and all these type of thing, right? So let's do this one, how you can perform it. We are doing the same thing on server 3. If you have a problem with resolution, just move your resolution to higher one, then you're able to see everything clearly. So once what you run, you have to run, first of all you have to run fdisk minus l, and then you can see this is my partition, and in exam they will tell you which partition you are going to use it. So if it's this partition, then you have to perform all your LVM question from this partition, right? So make sure you have using this accurate space, whatever they saying it, right? So here, so first you have to set up the swap partition. So fdisk minus dev sda, right? So you have to come up here, then you have to press new partition. Primary is fine, it doesn't matter, so it will automatically assign you default partition 1. That's okay. A starting sector is fine, but you have to define the ending sector, right? So how much space you want? It says 715. So we write it here and it created it. Then you have to type T for which type of partition you need it, right? And if you don't know, you can type L for list. If you have time, you can do it. You can find it from here. So we need a 19. So try to find 19. Where is 19? Where is 19? Where is swap partition? You have to find it. Yeah, so this is your swap partition. So you have to type 82. So it automatically detects your partition and it's set up to. So then you have to write it down. Okay, and that's it. Then you have to do fdisk minus l again. You can see you have this partition. This is 5.1 and this is the partition you created it, right? Because it is the SDA is the main hard drive, so this one is the partition which you created it, right? When you run the first command fdisk minus l, you can see there is only one disk, but now you created it, so that's why it's come up here. So you have to copy it, or you have to remember it in the exam so you can use it, right? So let's do it. mk swap this partition, type this. You can note down UUID, but we don't need it. After that you have to go to fs tab, go to do -o, enter, and then you can type it here, whatever the partition you copy it here, and then swap what is default 00. Okay, and make sure you type it this. If it's give you any error mode -a, you have to fix it. If you reboot the server with the wrong entry in the fs tab, you are done. Your server is gone and it's very difficult to troubleshoot it. Make sure mount -a is work perfectly, right? Then you have to give a swap on with -a, and then I don't know, you can just stop and see how much space you have. So it's 2048, I think so. Okay, then you have to run swap o -a, sorry, not galat, swap on -s, then run go here. Yeah, I think it's already increased it. So before you're going to start it, you have to note it down what is the swap size. So that's it. So these are the steps you have to remember it for your question number 21. So just when you start this question, you have to make sure you have just stop and see if what the size is here. Okay, so that's your question number 21. Okay, this is your last question. In this question, let me show you how you can do it. In this question, they are give you the new word called extend. You can read it on the internet. What is extend? So 50 extend, and then you have to 60 extend, right? So it's around about I think 800, right? If you multiply both these ones. So what I'm going to do, I'm follow all these steps so you can easily create your lab environment and perform this task. So if I go up, I have added a 5 GB hard drive, as you know. This is one, and then after that I run a command. Yeah, if you go upward, let me show you how you can do it. Fdisk -L, then you have to do type fdisk. Where it is, 1 second, let me find it. Fdisk elk, and then you have to run it to perform the task. I'm trying to find it where it is. 1 second, give me a sec. And then you have to type a command called fdisk dev sda. It will show you. Then I'm proceed with new partition here, and then you can know. And then I type the T for what type of partition I'm going to use it. So 8E is called for LVM, so I type it 8E here, and then I write it, and then you can see I have this -A, and that's it. Then I create a PV create on this drive, and then I create a VJ, and the command is wrong because I type this signal greater than, which is not required. So I run this command vj-f50m database data store, so you will get the same thing in the exam data store. So I create it over there, and then I create lv create. This is the wrong command, so this is the correct command, lv create -l50n database store, and you can see it's successfully created. And then you have to format it. You have to make sure you remember to format it. If it's formatted, then the further step, you have to mount it under, they will ask you to mount it under, I think MNT, I don't remember. You have to read your instructions. So I just create this directory, and I'm going to mount it in the exam. I will show you how you can mount it. In exam you have to specially mount it etc fs tab, and then you have to mind this, and this is the parameter. You have to write it down in your fs tab, right? Save it and make sure you run this command. If you got any error like this one, it means you have something wrong, right? If you reboot your server will be stuck and you are not able to perform your task. So I'm going back and see what is wrong with it. Everything is look good. So what is the mistake? Okay, let me see what is the issue. 1 second. Yeah, now it's working fine. Actually, the problem is when I run this command, yeah, ex2, I think I run it ext2, which is causing the problem. So make sure remember you have to run ext3. So its mount command is work fine. So if I type mount, you can see it's mounted here, right? So that's your question number 22, right? And the last question, yeah, let me show you the last question. The question number 23, I will show you in next video. So the last question is 23. I am going to show you how you can perform your last question. In last question, they ask you to perform the profile update. I got this question in exam, so I'm going to share it you. Yeah, so let's do it. So this is your last question. In this question they are recommend you to change the turner profile, right? So it's very easy and straight question. So you have to just remember all these commands and you will be able to perform the question. Okay, let's do it. I think you have to do it on node 1. I don't remember which node you have to do. Just follow your, so yum install tuner. Oh, it's Natasha, so I don't need it. Yum install tune. Let's see. Okay, yeah, you have to install it. And in exam they change it, they change the profile, so you have to, I don't know, let me see. The command is tune admin active. So you can see the active profile is virtual guest, right? So what is the recommended profile? So you have to run this command, admin recommended. So recommended one is also a virtual guest. So when you run this command in the exam, it will show you something else, but and the recommended, they ask you to set up the recommended one, so you have to run this command. So how you can do it? So you have to run the again tune the hyphen admin and profile. You have to set up this profile. In the exam I think they told you this virtual host, I think this one, yeah. When you run the recommended one, it change into virtual host, right? So this is your last question. So just remember these 3 commands, you will be able to finish your exam. And last wording is, once you've done all the question, you have to reboot the both system and see if it's up and running, right? If any system is not able to run it, you will get a 0 marks. So whenever you are doing some practice, make sure you have to do all the question and reboot it. Reboot it on. You don't need to reboot on every question. So just practice all these questions so you can remember everything and it's on your fingertips. And you have to just reboot both servers in one time in exam. So make sure you don't do any mistake. If your any server is stuck, he's not able to come up online, I'm telling you, you will get a 0 marks. If you have any question, you can ask me, I will guide you.